Welcome back to Bad Movies Rule. And today, on a very special episode of BMR, we aren't talking about any specific movie. We're talking about lots of movies. We are going to draft the next few months worth of episodes. We're going to fight and argue about what movies we should do, and we're going to bring you guys along to listen with. Let's go.
Your intros are on point. I just want to say that.
It's my favorite thing.
It is getting good.
Thanks, man. I'm excited about today.
Yeah. Because
today we're having our first annual, maybe annual, I don't know, however long until we run out of movies and then we have to do it again. BMR podcast draft. So just to let everybody come up to speed on what's happened here, we have got a list of movies we are going to go through and we are going to set the schedule. We are going to talk about which movies are going to be featured in upcoming episodes. So before we get into that, let's introduce the panel. We have got with us today Mr. Joseph Goratowski. How are you, Joe?
Man, I'm doing really good today.
Yeah?
I'm excited about this. This is fun.
I hope it's fun.
I think it's going to be great.
I'm a little tense because we've never done this, so I have no idea how it's going to go.
I think it'll be good.
Well, if you think it's going to be good, then I have confidence that you know what's good. So that's good.
True.
Kurt Mummer also joins us this morning. Kurt, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Speaking of good.
Everybody's good.
Good. Everybody's
that's good that you're good. He's good. I'm good.
Are you good?
We're good.
All right. Is Brady good?
Let's check, because beaming in from Omaha, Nebraska, we have our favorite Nebraskan, Brady Cox. How are you, sir?
Good.
Fantastic.
How's Nebraska, Brady?
It's good. Are we just going to beat this one on the floor? Or?
This episode's going to be great.
Haven't we already?
Brady's just going to be one line in it the whole time. You think this movie's good?
Good.
Yeah.
It's good. Let's do it.
I'll be pulling my Corbin Dallas.
Perfect. Well, my name is James Hauser, and I am also doing well today.
Way to switch it up.
Thanks for joining us. That's right. Deep hole with water. So here's how this is going to work, guys. Let me lay out the draft and the rules that we've put in place, which, are totally and completely arbitrary because, again, we've never done this before. So we have our 4 panelists that are here live, myself, Joe, Kurt, and Brady. But if you've been listening to Bad Movies Rule for any length of time, you know that there are a few other people that feature prominently on this show, and that is Clint Bush, our brother from another mother, Bob Hauser, and Mel Vandy, who also joins us on a regular basis. So those 3 couldn't be with us, but what they have done is sent in their rankings from our list. So I gave everybody a list of just over 200 movies that part of it we came up with ourselves. Part of it have been suggestions from listeners.
Yeah.
And we have this list that we're going to try to eventually get through. I mean, that's a lot of episodes. And we are trying to figure out how we're going to decide what movies to do next. Because right now we've just been kind of like, oh, you pick one, I'll pick one. And we decided we're going to have a draft where we literally go in a round robin, just like a sports draft, and pick from this list. And the people that couldn't be here they ranked like their top 20, 25 movies so that when it came around to their turn, we could pick on their behalf. So Mel and Clint and Bob will still be represented here in this draft.
However, probably not fairly.
No. Because they won't be here. They won't be here to argue on the behalf. Because just when you make a draft pick doesn't mean that movie's going to get locked in.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple things that have to happen. One, we have to determine if that film meets the strict criteria of Bad Movies Rule.
It is not a muddy situation at all.
No, not at all.
Are there written rules somewhere? Am I able to look these up?
There's written rules in my head. Yeah, absolutely.
They're listed on the 3rd floor.
That's right.
I'll be right back.
But just be careful on the stairs.
Oh,
right.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we've kind of had this nebulous set of standards for what, constitutes.
Nebulous?
Not really rock solid. And the reason is because we want to be open to discuss as many different types of movies as possible, but we also are a little bit hamstrung by the title of the podcast, right? So
sure.
We can't have like Shawshank Redemption on here, or
I hated that movie.
Oh, jeez. We can't have masterpieces like Ernest Goes to Camp, okay, and things like that, right? That's a joke.
Ever.
I'm just kidding. But
that's actually on my list.
Dare you. Since Clint's not here, how dare you?
Yes.
But what we've done in the past, we've said, okay, if it's a bad movie, meaning some movies are just universally considered to be bad by everybody, right? Talking about your Garbage Pail Kids,
Sure,
right? Those kinds of movies.
That was a bad movie.
Yes. We went through a whole episode and you didn't figure out that it was bad. Was it the musical number in the sweatshop that didn't convince you?
No, I thought that was all fantastically written. That's part of my favorite part of the movie.
Okay.
Did I not make that clear on the episode?
Then we have to determine, are some movies bad enough, right? And so something that I like to use is the IMDb meter. We've never talked about this, but there's a number ranking given to every movie on the Internet Movie Database. If you don't know what IMDb is, why are you listening to a movie podcast? Those numbers, generally what I've understood is anything in the sixes is you could go either way. Some people will like it, some people won't. Anything over 7 is kind of universally considered to be good. And once you get into the 5s and lower, it's all usually pretty bad. You might occasionally find a good movie in the 5s, but not really.
Yeah, it's got to be a niche.
Yeah.
Just for you.
Exactly. So that's the number we've determined to go, yep, this is a pretty bad movie. We can talk about it. Or if the reviews were really bad, meaning audiences might have loved it, right?
Yep.
But critics hated it. So it's considered a bad movie in the industry. Or if a movie just totally tanked out of the, like it came out like Scott Pilgrim we did, right? And Scott Pilgrim would be considered a good movie by most people.
Yep.
But that absolutely bombed when it came out, right?
Sure.
It was a total failure, box office wise. So that opens the door for us to be able to talk about it there too. So it's pretty hard, I feel like, to get excluded from BMR, but I suppose it's possible. So we have to, determine whether or not it's something that's worth doing. Something that will make a good episode is another piece of criteria, right? Because just because it's a bad movie, if it's so bad that we can't
Megaforce,
we can't even talk about it. No, Megaforce, I thought was a great conversation.
Megaforce was so over the top.
Episode.
That's what made
No,
it.
but that's what I'm saying. It really fit the criteria because it was we were all able to sort of enjoy picking on it, so to speak, because it was such a bad movie.
Yes, exactly.
But I think a lot of people didn't really identify with the episode or listen to it because they had never heard of this movie before.
True. Yeah, Megaforce we've had some episodes that have done very well. That was not one of them, even though it's one of my favorite ones because you're right, a lot of people haven't seen it or didn't know what it is. So
they didn't connect with it.
Go watch Megaforce just so you can listen to this episode.
Don't watch Megaforce.
Or even
just listen to the podcast.
I feel like it's even a fun one to listen to if you haven't seen the movie. So just give it a listen, guys. Don't worry about it. And so beyond that, there's another couple of curveballs we're going to throw into this draft, meaning that I gave everybody this list. I don't know if I explained it well enough because some of the rankings I got from our not present parties had a lot of movies that weren't on our list. So I'm going to allow people to go off the board one time. If you want to just pull one out of left field, that's fine. Because we're doing that, I'm also giving all of our live parties, Joe, Kurt, Brady, myself, a veto, which means that one time during the draft,
one veto.
You can squash something. It doesn't matter what anybody else says.
No veto.
That veto stands. We are absolutely not doing that movie.
I got a feeling if Clint was in person in here, he would veto almost everything on my list.
Well, he could only do one.
Yeah.
He would try, though.
Do we have a sound effect for the veto?
Yeah, sure. I'll come up with one. Okay. What you got?
So if somebody vetoes, we're not going to discuss it or try to argue why it should or should not be vetoed.
Well, you can try and convince that person to rescind their veto.
Fair enough.
Okay. Right? So yeah, absolutely. Also, something to remember is there are 2 movies that we already have scheduled that we're going to record after this. So the movies that we make or that we pick in this draft won't start until after that. So the next 2 upcoming episodes after the draft is Cyborg, a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie that was supposed to be the sequel to Masters of the Universe, and 2, Spy Hard, a spoof movie starring Leslie Nielsen. So those 2 movies are already happening regardless of what gets picked in this draft. All right, so if you guys are ready, I'm ready. I think what we have to do is first determine the order of the draft, and I think that should be determined by the level of power within us. So how about...
How are we going to determine that?
The power that exists inside of you? How do you measure
it? Do I go first?
Yeah. Let's think of some nebulous thing, like who has the most letters in their middle name or something. I mean, I honestly don't care. Who had the tallest grandma?
Jesus.
How about alphabetical order, just so we can just move on?
Oh. Yeah, good call. It's ruining my fun.
Oh,
fine. Alphabetical.
15 minutes doing this, and then not have time to finish the draft.
The problem is so many of us our names start with J. So, we're gonna go by last name.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we're gonna go by last name, that means that up first is someone who is not here. Clint Bush will be taking first pick, and he would be thrilled if he was here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to their rankings anytime it's their turn, and we'll cross out anything that's already been selected, and whatever is left sitting on the top will be their pick. And so with the first overall pick in the first BMR movie podcast draft, the first film that we will be potentially discussing on this show is, I don't have a drum roll, Office Space.
Okay.
Now, my immediate reaction is this is way too good of a movie to do on Bad Movies Rule. Am I wrong?
No, you're really not. I mean,
is that the Mike Judge one?
Element.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we did. This is the one that with Bill Lumbergh in the Office Space where they work at TGI Fridays, but they call it something else. And, and Jennifer Aniston's, worried about her flair.
We did Galaxy Quest, which was another. I think it was very similar to Office Space, where
came out in the same year.
It's one of those like cult classic type things.
It is. And so the really good movies that we've done, which would be Galaxy Quest, Fifth Element, and Scott Pilgrim, right?
Yeah.
What was Office Space's box office? Did it bomb? Because I think it was well reviewed, right? I don't think it got bad reviews coming out.
I believe it did terribly.
If it bombed upon release, then that could be potentially something we could talk about. I only need one person because then no one's talking if you're all looking it up at the same time.
It says 12.2 million.
12.2 million out of okay. That's not a very good
10 million budget.
All right.
Okay.
But a $12 million release, that's opening weekend. You've got to at least go back double. I mean, if it's a $10 million movie, you're spending more than that on marketing. Although maybe I don't remember them marketing all that much. I know the trailer was pretty prevalent.
I don't believe any of us saw it in the theater.
No. I did.
No, I did not.
You did.
I did. I went with my wife because we were working at Fridays at the time, and we remember seeing the trailer stuff, and we're like, got to go see this movie. So we went to see it, not because I knew who Mike Judge was or cared about the Office stuff, but just because of the Fridays stuff.
I say this movie qualifies barely, but it's going to have a lot of one-liners. Yeah, it has a lot of one-liners.
It does.
That would make a good episode.
Okay. Well, then we're going to lock this in. Office Space is on the board.
Bravo, gentlemen.
One down, like 323 to go.
All right, so that means Brady Cox is on the clock.
Tick tock, tick tock. I have to consult with my GM.
Yeah, can I trade up and move into this spot?
Right.
No.
Can I trade Joe for his number 3? Anyway, I'm going to go with Strange Brew.
Strange Brew. Is
anybody not familiar with that movie?
Never seen it.
No, I'm familiar with it. I haven't seen it probably since I was a kid. That's with Rick Moranis, right? This is an SCTV film.
Yeah, Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Bob and Doug. That was grasping for. Yeah, these guys, the Canadian.
What's the premise of the movie then? Yeah. Is it just two guys drinking and talking like it basically was on the show? They
do the there's a mouse in my beer bit, and they try to get a refund, and then they end up at the brewery, and then hijinks ensue.
So
Sounds like it's perfect for this podcast.
It's just two drunks touring a brewery? Is that the movie?
Me at mouse in the beer.
There's zombie hockey players at some point.
Wait, what?
Totally.
Okay, maybe I have not seen this movie because I have no memory of a movie where two beer-swilling Canadians visit a brewery and get chased by zombie hockey players.
Yeah, honestly, I think most people fall asleep towards the end of the movie because I've never remembered.
What a ringing endorsement!
The last time I saw the movie, I was just like, I don't remember any of this. And I've seen the movie about 7 times.
And you still don't remember it each time? Sounds like a bad movie's rule for me, unless you guys have any issues with Strange Brew.
No, it'll give me a chance to watch it.
Okay. Yeah. And anything Rick Moranis is in, like, say less. Yeah. I'm in. I'll watch a Rick Moranis movie all day. I don't care.
We're good.
Even if it's terrible.
Yeah. Terrible.
And the less famous Dave Thomas.
That's right. That's right. The great Dave Thomas who played the consigliere to
what? The Wendy's guy?
To John Cleese in Rat Race.
Yes.
Yes. Love that guy. All right. So that moves us over to Joseph Gorotowski, who is now on the clock with his first pick in round 1.
After much deliberation, some consulting with my family members.
He's got his entire family on a separate Zoom call. Grandma's the only one shaking her head. She doesn't like the pick.
Yeah, and she says she's the tallest.
My pick.
Yes.
Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue Sea. This was on my list. So I am thrilled that you picked it.
I want to go into a little bit more horror.
Yeah.
Thriller type stuff.
Yeah.
Because we're doing a lot of oddball stuff and comedies and this and that.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. I mean, because that was a kind of a conscious decision. I don't mind doing a horror occasionally, but there are a ton of bad horror movie podcasts because there's so much cheesy, crappy horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like
sure.
Low budget garbage out there, and it's all... And people have whole shows dedicated to that. So I was trying to set us apart a little bit, but I didn't mean we can't dip our toe in the water every once in a while. So and I don't even know the Deep Blue Sea. I don't even know if this qualifies as a hacky horror movie.
No.
This was legitimate Hollywood picture.
Never heard of it.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Dude, guys.
Okay,
say
Sam
less.
Jackson was sharks, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the one where Sam Jackson leads a group of survivors against smart sharks.
Smart sharks.
Smart sharks?
So the whole thing is they bred these giant sharks because it's just like another knockoff of Jaws, like anything else, right?
Yeah.
I see.
Except the twist is these are like, they're smarter than, Mensa.
Yeah, they're trying
professors.
to breed them, I think, for some
know
kind
what?
of like
I'm in.
Alzheimer's thing.
I'm in.
Like
I
to
want to watch this
extract
movie.
some- Okay.
So it's like
LL
Fast Zombies
Cool J.
with guns.
LL Cool J's in this?
Yes. What was that, Brady?
It's like Fast Zombies with guns.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Like zombies on their own are bad. But imagine if they were fast and they could shoot guns.
Right, which, that's a plug for, Benny's
Yes,
movie. So
for our buddy Benny, who
Benny's
made a movie called Fast
movie.
Zombies with Guns.
Yeah.
Because that's utterly ridiculous. So,
But it was
Right.
great.
yes. Oh, it's great.
Oh, no.
But completely ridiculous.
It was.
But yeah, I don't have any problems with Deep Blue Sea. As far as I'm concerned, that fits the criteria of bad movies rule.
I want to watch it.
All right. Well, then we are
On
going
the
to
list.
Yeah.
we'll lock it in. Deep Blue Sea at
First
number
pick.
3.
Nice.
That brings
Well done, Joe. Well done.
Thank you.
that puts me on the board right now, James. I just refer to myself in the
You
third
did.
person.
Yep.
You did.
It's just because I read it off the list. I am going to pick with the number 4 pick in the draft, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Two
Very nice.
horror type thrillers
Yes.
back to back.
Well, this doesn't mean that this will be the order that we do these episodes in. I have more on that later. Yeah.
So you're going to take all these episodes, throw them in a hat, and just start picking them out of it.
No, that would not be the way to do it either.
Okay.
I will have a system. But we're just not going to go first round all the way through because it's like everyone's number 1 picks right in a row. That's, we got to, I have a different way of doing it. But
Whatever.
Has anyone ever seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
I have.
Okay, Brady, you've seen it too?
It was a
Seen most of
long,
it.
long time ago.
Yeah.
Not all of it.
I own it on DVD.
Okay.
I've watched the commentary. I love this movie. It's my number 8 pick.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Wow.
Well, then Brady had it on his list. So partially there, I have a little bit of a behind the scenes reason for picking this movie. It's I think, a terrible movie, good for what we're doing, but also if we did Killer Clowns from Outer Space, then Pat Riley said he would come on and talk about the movie with us. So
Yes.
this
man
is
needs to get in here.
to get Patrick Riley in to talk about a movie.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about Killer Clowns.
Nobody's excited about that except for us.
Y'all don't know Pat Riley. I'm not talking about the coach of the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that guy.
This is
it's the Heat now. He's not on the Lakers anymore.
well, he was. He was formerly of the Lakers, but
I don't watch basketball anymore.
yeah, Pat Riley is a friend of ours who is a very funny guy, and been trying to get him on the show, and this will give us the opportunity to do that. So, all right, we're locking it in. Killer Clowns at number 4, which brings us to Bob. Where is Bob's list?
I have a feeling I'm going to be the most disappointed in Bob's list.
Well, you know, with his first pick, I don't think it was a bad one. Bob goes with the first pick of the draft for him with a more recent. I'm trying to remember what year this was. It was in the last 20 years, I think. 3,000 Miles to Graceland.
Is that a Kurt Russell venue?
It's Kurt Russell and Kevin Costner, and they're like hitmen that dress up. Oh, I forgot to give them the clap. They dress up like Elvis, like impersonators and stuff.
I remember that one now.
I've always wanted a reason to watch this movie, so I'm in.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
You've never seen it. Okay. Have you guys ever seen it?
Nope.
I saw it in the theater.
Okay.
I forgot the title of it, and I only saw it once. That was the only time.
Yeah, so I've only ever seen it once, too. And I remember walking out of the theater going,
Yeah, it was basically like, I like Elvis, so I just kind of was like, all right, I'll watch it. And then I kind of had the same, all right.
There's definitely some things that don't work in the movie, and, you know, but there are also some. Kevin Costner gives one of the most bananas performances of his career, and there's a couple scenes specifically where I can't wait to talk about because I'm actually glad he picked this movie. I'm good with it.
All right.
No veto for me. 3,000 Miles to Graceland. We're cruising right along.
It's tempting to veto that one.
Really? You haven't seen it?
Yeah, but you guys are not really painting a good picture here.
It's an action movie, and so from that standpoint, there's at least some cool gunfights and stuff like that.
And we don't have too many action movies on the list.
That's right.
Killer
Yeah.
Clowns from Outer Space, Deep Blue Sea.
Those aren't action.
I'm talking about as of what we've done so far.
Yeah, those aren't action movies.
All right.
Office Space. The only action that happens in Office Space is when they beat the crap out of a printer.
Right. PC Load Letter.
That's right.
All right, fine.
The only fight scene in that whole movie.
All right.
All right. So coming in now, number 6, we get our first pick from Mr. Kurt Mummer. Kurt, what are you going?
Batman versus Superman.
Oh, okay. I'll touch the button.
Okay. All right.
I hate this movie.
I'm going to start this up.
I love this movie.
I know.
That's why I want to go against James one-on-one.
Okay. I am, not to drop another one here, but Batman and Robin
Yes.
is also, I feel like these two are very similar.
Oh, gosh. Don't insult Batman and Robin like that.
Oh, man.
Well, it's got Schwarzenegger in it.
If we do both of these movies, we should do them back to back.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see if the other one gets drafted. But
Okay.
as far as Batman versus Superman, I'm not going to veto it. Okay.
Okay.
Because
Thank you.
one of my favorite things to do is to talk about how much this movie sucks.
Yeah.
So I will be ready and prepared
I will do everything I can in my power to defend it.
to go horde in the paint on Batman versus Superman.
I like it. It's a little newer,
Yeah.
you know?
It's the newest movie we've done, I think.
so, yeah.
And I love Ben Affleck as Batman, and I love Henry Cavill as Superman.
But
But this movie is dog water. Okay.
And I
It's like-
lap it up, baby.
Oh, I'm so happy you picked that movie. Okay. All right. Well, so I guess there's no challenges to this at all.
No
Batman
challenges.
versus Superman absolutely belongs on a movie
lot of
podcast
head
called
shaking.
Bad Movies.
But no vetoes.
All right. It's number 7. Let's go to Vandy's first pick of the draft. And my goodness, there might already be a veto in play here because this movie is so bad. I don't even know what else can possibly be said about it. But Jay picked The Room as his number 1 pick.
Is that
I'm going to use my veto.
Oh, brave.
It's too on the nose.
Yeah. Well, not only that, every funny thing that could have ever been said about it has been said, I feel like. Right?
Exactly.
I mean, it's been roasted by the best roasters. And not that we haven't done movies that other like MST3K or Riff Tracks have done. That's fine. But this has been spoofed by like everyone, even beyond those guys.
It's been ironed out.
Yeah.
The horse is dead.
I think so. So, all right, Brady has used his veto, and we're going to move to Jay's second pick, the second one listed on his pick, which is Armed and Dangerous. Armed and Dangerous. Brady, by the face you're making. It's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
Is this
John Candy and Eugene Levy.
Oh, and Eugene Levy.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm in.
Well, there's security guards.
Yes.
100%.
This is one of those ones that would just like late night on cable. You'd catch it every once in a while, like back in the day, and it was always hilarious.
Is that the one with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, where Dan Aykroyd turns into like a, or is that not the same movie?
He turns into
a werewolf or something?
No.
Oh, there's a movie where he turns into a werewolf
or a vampire. I don't remember.
Nope.
That's an old one too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Well, no, it's not this one, but now you've got me wanting to find out what the heck movie you're talking about.
Let me look it up.
There were basically two friends that got fired, and they're trying to find work,
jobs, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they got this job as a armed security guard.
All right, Armed and Dangerous. I haven't seen that movie in 20 years, so I'll be excited to go back to it and see if it's still good. All right, that means we're moving on to round number 2, and we are back to Mr. Clint Bush. So with the first pick of the second round, Clint has chosen Air America.
I don't remember which one this was.
This was that Mel Gibson and Robert Downey Jr. movie from the 80s, where their whole
early
thing
90s, but
was it early 90s?
I think so.
Okay, well, whichever.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but it's like a war movie. They're like pilots that are delivering supply. See, this has been so long that I can't even. I'm probably gonna not even get the plot right.
Does this qualify as a bad movie? Like, what about it?
Yeah. See, I don't even know it well enough to defend it on its merits. I'd have to look at the data. So if somebody could pull up on IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes or both, Air America.
I'm pulling up the other movie. I apologize.
All right, that's fine. Could somebody else do it?
Oh, it was 1990, so we were both right.
Okay.
So it had a budget of $35 million. Opening weekend was $8 million.
Okay, so it bombed. What's the number rating on IMDb?
It's a 5.8.
5.8. That would qualify as bad.
Okay.
And I think, it wouldn't be necessarily something brutal that we would have to sit through. It's an under 6, so I would say it's okay, unless you guys want to challenge it.
No, I actually want to watch it.
Okay.
So I'm excited to have it on the list.
All right, perfect.
All right, I guess.
All right, so let's move on to pick number 2 from Mr. Brady Cox. What you got?
I'm going to go with, this is a movie that everybody watched in the 80s. Every single person has seen this movie
Pretty in
the
Pink.
80s, except for Kurt's going to say he never saw it. But
The Breakfast Club.
It didn't do well. It didn't do well.
Okay.
And that movie is Gleaming the Cube.
Gleaming the Cube.
Yep, never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Brady, I also have never seen it. What the heck is Gleaming the Cube?
What the hell is?
I often confuse this with a different movie that's, an extreme sport. So it's a skateboarding movie.
Oh.
I believe this is, I want to say it's Christian Slater.
It is Christian Slater. Yikes.
Oh, I know this movie.
Yeah.
I see it.
The Christian Slater skateboarding movie. That's what I always called it. I didn't know what the heck the name was.
What is this?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like,
Those are some sweet blonde highlights right there.
It's rad.
Frosted Tips.
It's rad, but on skateboards.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Well, I loved Rad. That's one of my favorite episodes we've done. So I'm down.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Gleaming the
All
Cube.
right.
Lock it in, folks. Nice pick, Brady. We're moving on to pick number 3. Joseph Gorotowski, what you got?
Okay. My grandmother was all down for this one. She identifies very closely with this. Tank Girl.
Bro, this movie is trash.
Yes.
Right.
Speaking of trash,
It's one of those trash, but
It's fun
has
trash.
a cult following.
Yeah.
I know a lot of style has been pulled off of this
Yeah.
one. It's got a big comic book, offshoot with Tank Girl comics and
Yeah.
such. So I don't know. It has a lot of material.
That
work with.
I think is the reason why I'm okay with
Sure.
it, because there is going to be a million things to talk about in this movie.
The water that makes you more thirsty. I mean, come on.
Yeah. All right, I'm good with Tank Girl. Have you guys ever seen it?
yes.
You have?
Once.
Brady saw it? Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm not
All
going
right.
to lie. It's one of my guilty
Yeah.
It's a popcorn
pleasures.
movie.
Okay, well, guess what? I've only seen clips of it, like when people talk about it in like compilations of terrible movies. So I've never actually sat through the whole film.
Okay.
So I'm happy to do it. So good pick, Joe.
Hey, 2 for 2.
2 for 2. All right, pick number 11 and number 4 in this round goes back to me, and I am going to pick Drop Dead Fred.
Kurt and I were actually just talking about this right before the show.
Yes. So you guys like this movie?
I don't remember it. I vaguely remember it. I just know, and that's what I was talking to Joe about this morning. I couldn't remember if it was like somebody's spirit went into a guy and somehow fell in love with the girl, and then he was like, "No, it's
Listen,
it's imaginary.
It's
friend,
her
right?
imaginary friend."
it's 2 words why this movie is incredible.
Okay.
Phoebe Cates.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
I love Phoebe Cates. And she retired from acting a long time ago. And so there's not a ton of films featuring this amazing actress. She's from Gremlins.
Yes.
And Fast Times at Ridgemont High and a couple of others. But this movie is hilarious. Another one of those ones that I catch on Comedy Central all the time. And this is a Bevan pick. Bevan has been asking me to do Drop Dead Fred on this podcast since we started. So we got to give it up to Bevan, and it's a movie that I liked. So you guys are good with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, then
Brady's got the golf clap.
we're gonna move on then. So we are to Bob, which
Oh boy.
is always an adventure.
Oh boy.
He picked 3,000 Miles to Graceland last time, and his second pick is a Wayans brother movie, A Low Down Dirty Shame. Have you guys
Not
ever seen
familiar.
that?
No, sir.
It's like what's funny is Clint also has it on his list. It's a kind of an action comedy starring Keenan Ivory Williams, so the oldest Wayans brother. Jada Pinkett Smith was in this. Well, before she was Smith, it was just Jada Pinkett. And it's kind of a mid-level action. He's a cop, and it's some comedy, and I'd say it's an enjoyable movie. But it definitely isn't a good movie, so I think it qualifies.
I'm good with it.
Have you ever seen it, Brady?
I don't believe so. I'll probably watch it and be like, yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah.
But
Perfect.
if 2 people have picked it, let's roll.
Yeah, let's roll with it. I'm good. Good pick on Bob's part, I think. And I'm actually interested
job, Bob.
for you guys to see this movie, so that'd be perfect. All right, Kurt, you're up. What's your second round pick?
So I know this technically isn't a bad movie. It's a movie that I love.
Are you going off the board?
No.
Oh, okay.
Staring
No.
you down.
I want to do Big Trouble in Little China.
How can I hammer? Can I break my finger on this clap button? Let's see. Let's see if I can break this soundboard and have to buy a new one.
I
Okay.
just want to talk about this movie so bad because I'm such a fan.
Yes.
Okay. Is it a bad movie?
No, it's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Then why is it on Bad Movies Rule?
Because it is it's one of the most famous bombs of all time. This movie, when it came out, no one knew what the heck to do with it.
Yeah.
Right?
It was such an odd movie.
No one, I can't get my wife to watch 10 minutes of this movie. She thinks it's garbage. Okay? There are,
I know.
I'm serious. There are plenty of
We
people.
could do 90 minutes on the intro. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
The intro's just terrible.
What's the opposite of a veto? I'm like, this movie is happening on this podcast.
All right.
An anti-veto?
Anti-veto. I'll sit in this room by myself and talk about Big Trouble in Little China. I love this movie. It's never going to win any Oscars. Okay, It's got some of the worst acting in parts.
I guess.
Just because it's beloved doesn't mean it's a great movie. I think it's
Has
firmly
Raiden in it.
I think it's firmly in the category of a bad movie that is awesome.
All right. Okay.
Yes, It is the Mortal Kombat prequel.
It is.
Did the guy did Ed Boon, is that his name? From the Mortal Kombat guy?
Yeah.
Did he ever come out and say he just took Raiden from Big Trouble in Little China?
I think he said it was just heavily influenced.
Okay.
Yeah. He was such a fan of that movie that.
Yeah, because it's basically
Yeah.
Raiden. Okay. All right, cool.
Okay. All right.
Nice job, Kurt. That's my favorite pick that's happened yet. So I appreciate that.
Way to
All
suck
right.
up, Kurt.
Vandy.
What I do best.
Vandy is with the final pick of round 2, and he's already been vetoed once. And he has My Blue Heaven.
Nice.
No idea what that is.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but it's technically the sequel to Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Really?
And as we said earlier, it's a movie with Rick Moranis, and I'm down if Rick Moranis is in it.
Right.
It's Steve Martin and Rick Moranis in a movie together.
You got it.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. I want to watch it.
So, and they, Steve Martin loves working with tiny Canadians.
You don't, yeah.
Right.
You had me sold. You don't have to.
And so, like, let me back up a bit, because
Okay.
I said it's technically the sequel to Goodfellas, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a comedy. It's strictly a comedy, but Ray Liotta's character in Goodfellas is Steve Martin's character in this movie.
Okay.
And these are both based on true stories. So
Okay.
it's just very weird how this happened.
You had me sold right at the beginning, but
All right, we're going to start round 3, which means we are back to Clint Bush. And Clint is going to... Oh, he actually had My Blue Heaven as his next pick.
Oh.
So how about that?
Perfect.
We're going to move past that, which means the first pick in the third round is Iron Eagle.
I'm sold. That's 90s cliche.
Oh, yeah. I've never
I
seen
wore out the
Iron
tape
Eagle.
on this one.
What's that?
I wore out the tape on this one when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Because I've
Yeah.
never seen it.
Did they make a
I
video
haven't
game out
seen
of
it in
this?
20 years.
I don't know if they made... This was a... Now, just from seeing the box around at video stores, this is a fighter pilot movie, right?
Yes.
Like a Top Gun kind of a thing. Except
Yeah.
it's Lou Gossett Jr.?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then yeah, I'm in. I think this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Brady, you are up. What is your second pick of the third round?
Second pick overall in the third round.
Yes.
I was just like, it's my third pick. What do you mean?
Your second pick of the third round.
My brain just stopped for a second.
That's okay.
This is going to be controversial.
Ooh.
In fact, I wouldn't doubt if there is a veto.
Hold on, let me get my veto out. All right, go ahead.
Pootie Tang.
Sure, you don't want to play crickets on that one?
Pootie Tang. I don't know what to think about this because I enjoy the movie for dumb reasons.
I love this movie, and I think it just never found the audience that it needed to.
I don't disagree.
Here's what I've got to say.
Yeah.
So the list of movies that I've already auctioned off and that we've actually done as part of this podcast,
Yeah.
I have no say and no veto at any point, really.
Yes.
I mean, we've done Garbage Pail Kids, Masters of the Universe. So I kind of feel like I will go ahead and put it on the list.
We got to let him have it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to let you have Pootie Tang, Brady. I seriously considered vetoing, but we're going to let it roll. All right, Joe, what's your next pick?
All right, we need to give the oak some attention.
Oh, thank goodness.
Conan the Destroyer.
Yes.
Nice.
We've been talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger in movies all the time. We need to get an Arnie movie into this list.
Well, you did mention Batman and Robin earlier.
Yeah.
I did?
And so Conan the Destroyer is the second Conan movie. It was the sequel.
Yes.
The far inferior than to the first one. Way more ridiculous, although some would say closer to the source material.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is a bad movie, but I love it. So I'm good. You guys good with Conan the Destroyer?
I am.
All right.
Sure.
Wilt Chamberlain and Arnold fighting each other? I mean, come on.
Boombata! Boombata!
Yeah, I know you love this movie because you had a fantasy team named after it.
I did. Boombata's escort service.
That's right. Because he's escorting the princess. Was she a princess? I think she's a princess.
She is.
Anyway.
That's awesome.
All right. That's up to me then, right? Okay.
Yep.
Do I dare go back-to-back Arnold movies? Because I have two Arnold movies
Do it.
circled next.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it now.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna pick Arnold's probably biggest bomb of the 1990s with my pick, which is Last Action Hero.
Yeah, that is a super fantastic movie. Yeah, stars a young John Connor.
This movie was a mega bomb, and I am convinced it's one of his best films.
Yeah.
Even though,
Agreed.
oh, thank you, Brady. Last Action Hero.
Trained dogs.
It was on my list as well.
Oh, perfect. All right. Well, don't worry. We're not going to do Arnold movies 2 episodes in a row, but they're both on the list, so I'm happy about that. All right. Let's move on to Bob. That's every time. It's like
Bob.
It's like a roulette table. Like, let's
know
see
why
what
I'm doing
Bob
Arnold
has
here,
written
but-
down. All right, Bob.
Come on, Bob.
Oh, Bob.
Oh, Bob. You boob.
Bob has picked Jack and Jill, the Adam Sandler
No.
movie.
No.
I kind of wish I had saved my veto.
Jack and Jill is one of the worst movies of all time.
Hey, like I said, I'm tossing up my veto, so if anyone wants to go ahead and take that from me, I'm not vetoing it, though. But someone can take mine.
I'm considering.
Veto.
I don't know.
It's a free veto.
I haven't even written it down
watch
yet.
it out of morbid curiosity.
It's awful, Brady.
Don't write it down yet, because I'm tempted to use the veto on this one.
Yeah.
But I'm just worried that there's another bad movie.
Well, there's going to be lots of them.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Because this is the Bad Movies Rule podcast.
Oh. Come on, Kurt. Use yours.
just take mine.
You can't. You have to use it. You can't give it to somebody else.
Bob, I'm really sorry. I love you, but
oh, it's been
I'm
vetoed.
vetoing
Okay,
Jack and Jill.
I can't do it.
I'll take
It's
some of that
awful.
guilt off of you.
I was
going to do it.
It's bad.
I just
It's
pressed
beyond
you.
awful.
All right, so that means that the next one up is The Fanatic from Bob.
Okay.
Have you guys seen The Fanatic?
No.
It's a
Dennis Leary.
no. That's the fan. The Fanatic, I think, is a very not very, but more recent in the last few years. John Travolta movie where he tried to do this big acting performance, he had old man makeup and a bald head, and it just was bad. And so I think this would be one that would be good for us to talk about.
Yeah.
Personally.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
It's a wild card.
It's a wild card. The Fanatic. All right, Kurt. What do you got for round number 3?
All right. I want to do Johnny Dangerously.
Johnny Dangerously.
I have no problem with this one. It's a childhood,
Yeah, it was a staple
Gem
of my
for me.
childhood. Absolutely.
I know who else is excited about this one. Brady.
I love this movie. Yeah, and I'm amazed it's not on my list.
Oh, how'd that not get on your list?
I don't know. I love this movie.
You famously like this movie. Moving on then to Vandy with his third pick. Let's just see here. Ooh, he's going off the board here because unless you guys can prove me wrong, I don't think this movie is on our list. Fletch Lives.
Oh.
no, I haven't seen this one.
It's not on the list.
It's not on the list, so this is his one off the board. Fletch Lives is the sequel to a good movie. I don't remember the last time I saw Fletch, the second one. I know it's bad, but I'm down to talk about a bad Chevy Chase movie. I got no problem with this one.
Moon River.
All right.
Yeah, I'll have to watch the first one so I have context. But
Yes. Or maybe at least one of us should go in with absolutely no context.
I'm
and
going to
just
go in
watch-
with no context
and just
whatsoever.
watch the second one. All
do
right.
it.
All right,
If
perfect.
it's one of my episodes, I'll do it.
All right, cool. We're going to start the 4th round here, and so we are going back to Clint. Clint with the first pick and the 22nd pick overall, first pick in the 4th round. He goes with, Back to School, a Rodney Dangerfield movie.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll
2
watch
thumbs
it.
up. With Brady as well.
Yeah, we got all the thumbs. All the thumbs are up.
Lot of
No
thumbs
one's
in
going to
this
argue
place.
with that one. Come on now. All right, Brady, what do you got at number 23?
this was my off the list pick.
Oh, okay. We
We discussed this the other day. But The Last Dragon.
Oh, The Last Dragon. Yes, I'm not going to argue with you on that. This one should have been on the list
Is that
and was
the
an
one with John
oversight.
Connery?
No, Last Dragon's the one with Sho'nuff.
Yeah, Sho'nuff.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's right.
And so this is like some music execs, like he wanted to get into movies, and this was his first and last attempt.
All right.
Okay, perfect.
I assume it's his last attempt. It's the last one I heard of.
Well, there you go. We're moving on then to Mr. Gorotowski. What do you got?
Okay. It's not one particular movie. It could be many movies because this person's done a lot.
Okay.
Any Ernest movie. My particular pick,
Okay.
Ernest Saves Christmas.
Ernest Saves. Let's talk about this because more than, I think 3 of you have that designation of any Ernest movie on the list.
They're all the same.
That is absolutely not true.
No, I chose Ernest Goes to Camp. It's on my list just
That's
because
a good one, too. That's a great one
It's
as
the
well.
first one.
Bob has Ernest Scared Stupid on his list,
Which is
which is the one with the trolls.
I think Jay has
Great.
any Ernest
And
movie
Jay
as
has
well, so.
any on his. So,
guess-
Well, let's go with what was picked. The end.
since it's your pick, we'll let you pick. Do you want to go with Ernest Saves Christmas?
Let's go Ernest Saves Christmas. I
Okay.
think because
Now we got a Christmas movie on the list.
exactly.
Yeah, we can line it up.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
There you go.
Ernest Saves Christmas. That is the pick. That's what we're going with.
Halloween's also around the corner, so we could do the
The
clown movie,
Perfect.
Yes.
Killer Clowns.
All right, well, that comes to me then with the 4th pick, right? I'm number 4. Okay, so 4th round, 4th pick. Oh, jeez. I kind of want to go Van Damme again. I know we've done 3 of his movies already, but they're just
easy.
so perfect for this podcast. Because we've already done what? Time Cop, Street Fighter. We've got Cyborg coming up.
All right, what is it?
I haven't. I'm not pulling the trigger on that one yet.
Way to tease us.
I got to do it. We're going with The Postman.
Oh,
Is that Kevin Costner?
that's Kevin Costner.
Is that like Waterworld but with mail?
Yeah. Horses and mail. Some post-apocalyptic. I mean, all right.
Here's
You had me at post-apocalyptic. I'll do it.
Here's my biggest selling factor of this movie. It is long. Okay, it's long. There are deserted stretches of nothingness within it, but there are also awesome parts. But we have an award we give out every week for a guy named Will Patton, and we haven't done a single Will Patton movie. Oh. Will Patton plays the bad guy in this movie.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
So he has to get the Will Patton Award. I mean,
It's like Lou Gehrig's, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
right.
All right, we're talking about The Postman. All right, perfect. Let's get rolling then. We got Bob coming up. Bobo. It's like, what are you going to do this time, Bob? He's got another Arnold movie on the list,
Okay. Which one?
which will give us another one to do at Christmas. It's Jingle All the
Oh,
Way.
yes.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
It's Turbo Time.
Turbo Time.
We can do these back to back with Ernest Saves Christmas and release these in December.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. It's turbo. This has got one of his best lines of all time in it. Put the cookie down now. Come on.
When he jacks that reindeer in the face.
And you're right. And he punches a reindeer directly in his face.
And Phil Hartman. How can you
You
not?
can't go wrong.
Oh, beautiful.
All right. So that brings us to Kurt. Kurt, number 27. What do you got?
Oh, I'm going with Major Payne. I love character actors, and this is such a great movie to me.
I have no problems with this. pick.
I don't necessarily want to see it again, but
Oh, it's a great movie.
Well, maybe it won't be an episode you're on, and then I'll spare you from having to watch
here
it.
you go.
Yeah, I guess that's one of those points that just because they're on the list doesn't mean that we have to watch it.
You could
We may
still
not be on that one.
You could still do some dip, dodging, ducking, diving, and dodging, and get out from underneath Major Payne. All right,
That's a movie I want to put on the list now.
Bam Bam Bigelow is in this movie.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Forgot about
biker,
that.
right?
that's right.
Yeah.
Come on now. I love wrestlers. Anytime there's a wrestler movie, I'm in.
My little batch of Brussels sprouts.
You're
All
looking
right.
at ass eyes.
Vandy is up, and his pick is The Renaissance Man.
Okay.
Do you know this one?
No.
Danny DeVito.
Oh, is that the one where he goes into the army and he's like helping out a bunch of like? Am I thinking of the right one?
Is it the right one? I've never seen Renaissance
know.
Man. I think and forgive me, Mike, if I'm attributing this to you incorrectly, but I think this was also a movie suggested to us by Mike Pinter, one of our longtime listeners. So I'm good with having it on here just for Mike's sake.
I mean,
don't
a
know the
Danny
movie.
DeVito movie. I haven't.
I think it is because I remember him talking
It
to me
is a
about
Danny
it.
DeVito movie.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes, I remember Mike talking to me about this one. So we could say this is one that Mike picked and Vandy picked. And so we got two people.
Ooh.
Let's keep it on
It's
the
also
list.
a Penny Marshall movie.
Perfect. All right, it's on the list then. Renaissance Man. All right, we're moving on. So here we go. Clint is up with this is pick number 29 and the first pick of round 5. Let's see what Clint's got for us. Yes. 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 Over the top.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I think I'm going to use my veto.
Shut your mouth.
No.
Hey, whoa. Don't you
Dude.
Don't you dare tell me I can't do something that you specifically said I can do.
You can do whatever you want.
I wanted the vetoes thing. I will veto it.
Okay, I dare you.
I won't. I'm not going to veto this thing.
I triple dog dare you.
Because I know it's on James's list.
Yes.
It's on my list.
It's Clint's, obviously, because he picked it.
Right.
You don't like movies about
No, I
arm
love
wrestling
it.
that have to do with child custody and truck
Again,
driving?
You may not watch it.
The problem is this movie hits too close to home.
I understand.
But the thing is that, like, the entire concept of this movie is horrible. and
It's my life you're talking about, Brady.
We can't not do this movie is what I'm saying. We can't not do this movie.
I think we wouldn't be allowed to have this if we went a certain number of episodes without doing it. They'd take the podcast away.
Right.
Hello, we're here to take your podcast away.
Exactly. All right, Brady, what do you got for round 5?
Round 5, I'm going to go with, it's a very obscure movie. Not a lot of people have seen it. In fact, it was one of your friends who picked this.
Oh.
I don't recognize the name next to it.
Okay.
It's a little movie called Equilibrium.
Equilibrium.
Not familiar.
Bro. Brady, we watched this movie together.
Did we?
Yes.
Did I recommend this movie to you?
I don't remember which direction it went. One of us recommended it to the other, but we watched it together.
Because my former boss recommended it to me.
Well, then you probably showed it to me.
Yeah, and so this was back when we had direct-to-video. For whatever reason, they finished this movie, and they didn't know what to do with it.
Right.
It didn't fit into their marketing or whatever, so they just threw it direct-to-video.
Yeah.
These days, it would end up on Netflix.
Right. It's a science fiction movie, guys, where in the future, you're not allowed, emotion and art and music and everything's been banned. You have to take these pills to keep yourself level and without emotional peaks and valleys. And it's a sci-fi. There's a special form of martial arts in it called gun kata that the guy that made the movie created for the film. Christian Bale starred in this way before anybody knew who it was.
I know this movie now.
Yeah. And Sean Bean.
It's very stylized.
It is super stylized.
All right. We're good.
Good movie. All right, Joe, what do you got?
Okay. All right.
I veto it.
No, you're not, actually. I don't think you're going to veto this one else.
We're the only ones with vetoes left, and we're going to draw them like guns on each other in the middle of the street.
You take that back, or I'm going to veto it.
How can you veto a classic movie?
Oh, God.
Such as
what?
Willow.
Oh. I would never.
Exactly. You can't veto that.
Willow is the bastard child of fantasy movies. It's the one no one ever wants to admit
that's
decently awesome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it deserves its place, and we're going to give it its place. So I'm good with Willow. You guys good with Willow?
I'm fine with Willow.
Brady, you shut your face.
There's a
Yikes.
There's a student that I've known since she was a junior high. Now she's off in college, and her first name is Madigan, and I have been calling her Mad Madigan for the entire time I've known her. Just
I stole the baby when he was going beep beep.
That's right. So yeah, I love this movie. All right, now we're back to me.
Man.
I will try and pick this much faster. Here's how fast I'm going to pick this.
Veto.
I want to pick something that I don't like just because you need, because if you veto this movie, I'm going to be so angry. Okay, and I think other people will too, because this is a gem.
Is it gem?
It's a Steve Odenkirk gem.
Oh no.
Nothing to lose.
Yeah. Nope. I don't know enough about it to veto it.
Tim Robbins, Martin Lawrence.
Oh, that's the one that we were talking about, and I had no idea.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like a buddy cop movie.
Thank you.
Is this the one with the diamond?
Well, it's not Diamond. He goes home and thinks he catches his wife cheating on him, and just kind of drives off into the worst neighborhood and gets carjacked by Martin Lawrence, and they go on an adventure together.
Okay.
Isn't that
yes.
weird how a lot of Tim Robbins movies start out like that?
I think that's how Howard the Duck started.
You're right. Shawshank started that way.
Yeah, Shawshank. Yeah.
All right, we're up to Howard the Duck. We're never supposed to mention that ever again.
So Shawshank.
All right, Howard the Duck. We're on to Bob.
Oh, boy.
That's Jay. All right. Oh, all right. This is a John Woo movie from the 90s starring a football player, Christian Slater, and John Travolta. We got Broken Arrow.
Okay.
Howie Long. This is a good movie.
Yeah. There's enough there. There's enough meat on that bone to work with.
I think so. You guys ever seen Broken Arrow?
No, sir.
Oh, good stuff.
Once.
Definitely a cheesy action movie with enough to talk about.
Yeah.
All right. You're up, Kurt.
Going off the cuff.
Is this off the list?
Off the list.
Oh, wild card.
Short Circuit. Yes. Got some
Are you
claps.
sure that wasn't Crickets?
I like shorts. That was the pause, was me determining whether I was going to do crickets or claps. Is it a bad movie?
I don't think it did well.
You say yes?
definitively?
Yeah, it's just a bad movie.
Yeah, I think it is.
And if we do this, the first thing we do right off the top is to like address the fact that like this Indian guy is played by a white dude in blackface.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Belky.
All right, well that's that part.
That's Belky?
That's Belky.
Shut the front door.
Okay,
Yeah, didn't you know that?
It's not Belky.
That's not the guy that plays
Somebody
Balky.
Wait, what?
No.
No, it's a different white guy. All right, well, yeah, I don't know. They couldn't find an Indian guy.
off.
That was their issue.
I don't think they wanted to because this guy was quote unquote funnier.
All right, well, whatever.
All right, fine.
All right, well, we'll talk about it. Johnny 5 Alive is all I wrote down on the list instead of the
Nice.
name of the movie. All right, we're going to Vandy then to close out round 5. Let's see what Vandy's got for us. Ooh, the worst of this trilogy of movies. We got Beverly Hills Cop 3. This was bad.
Okay with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't got to do a lot of Eddie Murphy. Have we gotten to do any of them?
Sure.
I don't think so.
This is the one that's at the amusement park, right?
Yeah, they go to Six Flags.
Right, but there was also like a part of it shot at Universal Studios, and like I remember seeing all these rides from different places, and they're trying to say like it was the same park within the movie. But I'm like, I know that's in Florida, that's in Chicago.
Well, so the thing is that, you know, our Six Flags, like for whatever reason,
Yeah.
Right before this movie was made, they decided to recreate ours out
Yes.
in California.
Yes.
So a lot of the ones we were like, oh, I know that ride, blah, 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 that was actually shot in California.
Right. Like the hanging baskets from
Yeah.
the original Six Flags, which aren't there anymore. But yeah. All right, guys, let's keep it going. We still got some time. I think we can probably get 2 more rounds in before we hit our time limit here. So let's keep this train rolling. Why not?
Choo choo.
Let's go, Clint, with the first pick of round 6. Oh, was Last Action Hero, which we already had, and Johnny Dangerously, which we already had. Ooh, look at this. He's got The Whole 9 Yards as his next pick.
It's a Bruce Willis movie, right?
It is, with Matthew Perry, I think. Is it bad enough to like be spoofable? And I guess we don't really spoof them, but is it enough there that's the only thing I would worry about, that could we have a great discussion around The Whole 9 Yards?
I don't think I ever saw it.
Is it funny? Is it an action movie? I'm not exactly sure.
I didn't even think it was good enough to be discussed. Like, I watched it and I was like, it wasn't funny enough for me to ever watch again, but it wasn't so bad. I was like, oh, you got to go see this movie because it's so terrible. It's like, I just
think
feel like
we
it's
can-
just so bland.
I think we can wiggle out of this one because it's not on the list anyway.
Oh, it's off the list?
I believe so. I don't remember seeing it on there.
All right. Well, then we're just going to move.
So by default, it doesn't really hit the category, so we
Yeah.
don't have to veto it.
It is on the list. My bad.
It is on the list. Dang it. All right. But you know what? I'm going to use my veto.
Really?
Yeah, and here's why. Because I'm not worried about like a really bad movie coming up later, because I'll talk about a really bad movie. I just think I'm scared of like a bland movie that we won't have anything to say about is what I'm worried about.
Well,
personally.
I don't think you should use a veto on it. I think it just simply doesn't fall
Meet
into
the
the
But it's
criteria.
on the
Right.
list though. That's the problem. So
All right,
I'm good. I don't mind
Okay.
wasting my
All
veto.
right. All right.
Because the next movie
One
he's got
veto.
on his list is Double Impact.
Nice.
So let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that one.
2 Van Dams for the price of 1 double Van Damage. Let's go. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
All right, Brady, you're up. What's your next pick?
I'm going to go with, I'm not going to say the full title of this movie because I don't recall it.
Okay.
But, Buckaroo Banzai.
And the Hong Kong Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Yeah, great pick. We'll have a million things to say about this movie. This movie is bananas.
Jeff
Bananas.
Goldblum alone.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great pick. All right, we're going to keep this train rolling. Joe, what do you got for the next pick?
Oh man, I think you're. I'm so tempted to do this one
Now that I don't have a veto,
now that you don't have a veto.
do it. I don't care.
Hook.
Hook.
There's a lot of material there.
There is,
It is a beloved classic
by some.
by some.
So
Robin
when it
Williams.
came out, Spielberg was getting raked across the coals for
Yeah.
it.
There you are,
Really?
Peter.
Yeah.
Glenn Close.
Hook is on the list too.
It is on the list, and I didn't understand why.
Yeah, I mean, we were kids at the time that thing came out, but
Right.
if you go back and look at some of the articles that were written in the early 90s, he was getting taken to task for this movie. This was not considered a good movie by Spielberg. This was one of his one of his turds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good with doing it.
Sure. Yeah.
All right,
It'll
cool.
Nice.
Not like anything you guys say. All your vetoes are done. So
That's right.
Yeah,
I can
Doesn't
pick
matter.
anything I want now.
Doesn't matter.
It's good to be king.
Yeah.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do with the number 4 pick. I'm going to start what I hope will eventually be us doing all 5 of these movies, and that is American Ninja Part 1.
Okay.
Brady, by your laughing, have you seen these movies?
I see Joe
I
shaking his head
remember
over there.
seeing them.
Have you seen them?
They're horrible.
I know it's going to be so funny to talk
I don't
about.
want to watch these.
There's
I
5
just
of them.
remember
I know.
a little kid and going, "This is dumb."
I went into it as like, yeah, the same thing. Like, I'm a kid. I'm like, oh, yeah, I want to be a ninja. And oh, I don't want to be a ninja now.
It's like
Be that ninja.
the American Ninja is just a different way of saying white guy ninjas Part 1.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why this is going to be fantastic. All right, great. Let's go to Bob's list for the 5th pick of this round.
I hate you for that.
Oh, Bob's got a Dolph Lundgren movie, which is actually enjoyable, but definitely not going to win any awards. Showdown in Little Tokyo
Okay.
with Brandon Lee and Dolph Lundgren. This is pre-Crow, pre-death, obviously. Goes without saying. Brandon Lee. You guys ever seen this?
No.
I seen parts. I remember parts of it.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I think I would like it.
I would like
Yeah.
to revisit it.
Absolutely. Cool. All right, Kurt, what do you got?
I want to go with a classic from my childhood, Beastmaster.
Beastmaster. You won't get any argument from me.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Wait. Is that the one with that weird,
With
like...
the ferrets.
And the
ferrets.
trees that like eat people.
Yeah, they're like...
Yeah.
And then just like bones would come out? Yes. I like it.
Beastmaster is a great pick, Kurt.
That's a great pick.
Great pick.
Great pick. Good job.
And speaking of great picks, Vandy is up again. So let me do this. I got to skip through all the ones he has on here that are not on the list.
Great minds think alike.
Here we go. Nothing But Trouble is the next pick from, which I know 3 of you have already talked about. So
Yeah.
this is that movie you were thinking was
Oh,
Dan
yes,
Aykroyd
yes,
turned
yes.
into a werewolf. But
I'm excited. I want to see it.
all right.
As soon as
Except he doesn't. Don't get your expectations up that he turns into a werewolf because he
No?
doesn't. No.
Okay.
But
Okay.
he's definitely a weirdo.
Or a vampire.
Fun fact:
Yeah.
this is Tupac's first movie.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Huh.
Tupac is in it.
I think that guy's going to really gonna take off.
Gosh, that's the worst joke you've ever made.
He doesn't have a line in the movie.
He doesn't,
just
but he's there. All right, we are going to do one more round. All right, so this is round
Well
number
played, Joe.
7.
Well played.
I'm excited to see
Right.
more of his work.
Round number 7 will be the final round of the draft. We
Gosh, too much pressure.
we should say this, okay? We make the rules. So if something comes along in the next 35 episodes or however many movies we have by the end of this, and we're like, oh, we want to do this, and we want to do a one-off, we're going to do it, okay? We're not going to necessarily be slaves to this, but we will stick to this for the most part, unless something really drastic happens, or we have a special guest that's going to join us and wants to talk about a specific movie, right? So we're going to leave opportunities open for that, but this will, in a general sense, these will be the next movies that we're doing. Make sense?
Yep.
All right, so let's finish this puppy up and bring it home. Clint Bush will start us off with the first pick of round 7. Ooh, another Costner classic, Waterworld.
It's actually on my list as well.
Perfect.
Also on my list.
Dry land is not a myth.
Okay,
Sorry.
So I just want to say, is this one of those movies that are just beaten to death?
I think it was.
Is there any meat left on the bone?
Yeah.
I think it was 15, 20 years ago, but no one's talked about Waterworld in a long time. I think there's a lot of people that don't even know what it is.
Yeah, that's true.
I think you'd be surprised.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I won't use my veto.
that is a good thing to think about, but I think in this case we're okay.
Okay.
We're
I'll
good.
take your word on it.
All right. So we're up, Brady. You're up. Your last pick of the draft. Who's your Mr. Irrelevant?
Okay. Everybody's going to hate this one.
Oh, God. Don't
But
scare
they're
me.
also going to secretly love it. Okay. The concept of this podcast, this movie is perfect for it.
Okay.
And honestly, I don't really want to watch this movie, but Weekend at Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's.
No, I like it.
Okay. I think you said no, like you were going to veto it. I was getting ready to turn the applause off. Okay.
I think it's a perfect for this podcast.
You thought people don't like Weekend at Bernie's? I like that movie.
Well, yeah, but it's definitely one of those oddball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship, really. I mean, it's got to be.
I understand. All right, Joe, what you got, brother?
All right. I'm going to sound so stupid.
Why is it going to sound stupid?
No, because I'm not quite sure if I have the right movie in my head that what the title is. The Happenings? Is that the one with Mark Wahlberg?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Oh, wow. I just watched it about 6 months ago.
That is a...
That's where the air is trying to kill people.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
Zoe Deschanel is in it. That's probably the only saving grace in this whole movie.
Yeah, it is a saving grace.
The moment I knew this movie was going to be trash is when they said Mark Wahlberg was a science teacher. I was like, you lost me.
Okay, so again, I didn't see this movie up until 6 months ago.
Okay.
And I remember watching it and thinking, now I know where Andy Samberg got his "Hey, we're going to talk to animals" sketch from.
Yes.
Hey, go.
That's right.
How you doing?
I like your beard.
Tell your mother I said hi.
That is the character that Mark Wahlberg does in the movie.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Or did I get the wrong? It's not Donnie. It is Mark Wahlberg. Sorry.
It's Mark Wahlberg.
I was thinking the
not
other
Donnie.
So
don't want to get your Wahlbergs wrong. Okay.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Burger.
This is going to be it.
James
guys.
is up.
Last pick of the draft for me.
What do you got, James? You're throwing
Still
up
have a veto.
Mary.
A movie.
I still have a veto.
A movie starring a guy whose first name is Yahoo, Young Einstein.
Damn it! Damn it! I
At the bottom of my list, but it's on my list.
It's on your list, Brady?
It's at the bottom, but it's on my list.
Young Einstein is one of the weirdest movies of all time. And there will be plenty for us to talk about.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. We're going to Bob's list. The last time.
There we go.
Dun dun dun.
Do we have a double veto going?
No.
The only guy in history to get double veto.
He did have American Ninja on here also.
Nice.
So, you know he's my brother. Some of the movies Bob had that we won't get to. He had Double Dragon further down the list. Ernest Scared Stupid. Waterworld was on here. Postman was on here. Delta Force 2. But the movie that he is going with is called I Come in Peace.
What the hell is that?
Is that crickets? Because you guys don't know what that is?
No.
Is this that Dolph Lundgren movie that nobody saw?
It is.
He loves Dolph.
So it's an alien invasion movie. There's an alien that comes to Earth, and Dolph is the only one that can stop him. And he's got this insane gun that like sucks people's brains out, if I remember right.
All right, I'm gonna look this up. It says I Come in Peace.
Well, that's used to be the name. I think they changed it now to like Angel of Darkness or something. I don't remember.
1990 film.
Yeah.
Brain suckers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this looks like a big pile of. Oh my God.
Yep.
Yep.
It's good.
Except for Bob.
It's good. It's got.
Okay.
It does have one of the best send-off lines of all time.
All right, I'm gonna tell you. This is. I will not use my veto
Okay.
if I can get guarantee
Yes.
that somebody's gonna pay me the rental fee.
I'll
And burst the rental fee.
You're waiving your veto for a rental fee?
$3.99.
Because I don't want. Yeah, I don't
All
want this. I don't want this.
All right. I'll pay for the rental for you.
All right. If I'm on this one,
I'll throw in.
okay.
That's $1.50, baby.
That's right.
All right.
I'll send you $1.
All right, Kurt. Kurt, what's your final pick, buddy?
All right, so I'm having a real hard time, and maybe I'll just throw both of them out there. I got one on the list and one not on the list.
It's a tough time for you these days.
I've got Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls.
Okay.
And then I have...
Calm down.
Sorry. Where was it? Oh, man, I totally built up, and I lost it. Super Mario Brothers.
Ooh. Out of those two, I would lean towards Super Mario Brothers being the worst of the two, with more to talk about.
There's more to talk about.
I feel like Ace Ventura would be a love fest.
But,
Yes. Well, especially for me.
Yeah.
but as a show, from a show aspect,
Yes.
I think it would connect better with
Mario
audiences.
Brothers.
No.
Oh,
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura, yeah.
All right,
Because
so
it's more, again, more relatable. People
Yeah.
have seen that movie more than they've seen the Super Mario Brothers.
I'm going to make a confession here.
yeah.
I have never seen Ace Ventura when nature calls.
Veto. I am vetoing Brady. Turn him off.
He's paying your fee.
All right, so are we going Ace Ventura then?
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right, Ace Ventura 2.
When
we need
nature
to,
calls.
yeah, we need to see a Jim Carrey
Ace Ventura 2. All right.
movie on this list.
And that means that Vandy's going to get the final pick, number 49, the final pick of the entire.
I told your cat to
wow.
do that, by the way, Brady. None of us can see
he's
it, but his cat
It's
just
super friendly.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. So many of
Cut
these
that
have been,
out.
so many of these have been picked already. We're getting all the way down to number 19 here
On his list.
on his list. Because he had Jingle All the Way, Air America. Oh, I guess I skipped one. I didn't realize. He's got Spies Like Us. Is that a bad movie?
No.
That's Chevy Chase and Dan
Dan
Aykroyd.
Aykroyd.
I don't think there's anything bad about that movie. Did it do bad?
I don't think so.
Does it
think so
fall
either.
under the same category as Three Amigos then?
The Three Amigos was a failure.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was funny.
No,
it up
it
real
was,
quick.
but I
Yeah.
mean, like, it didn't.
Look
It
it up real quick. See what it is on IMDb.
failed.
Wasn't on the list.
6.4 on IMDb.
I don't think Spies Like Us was on the list.
I don't think this was on the list either. Budget was 22 million. Opening weekend was 8.6.
Well, that's just opening
It
weekend, though.
It did gross 60 million.
Yeah, see, it tripled its
Worldwide.
budget.
So
I'm going to say this one's not eligible.
Yep.
So go down to the next one.
yeah, I agree. I love this movie. I don't think we should do it.
Okay.
It is
No offense to
declined on a technicality.
All right, so his next pick then is Kung Pao, Enter the Fist.
This is on my list.
Tell me,
It's on your list?
It's on my list. And because I picked Pootie Tang, I moved it way down afterwards.
Here's the only thing I'm worried about with movies like this, and this is a little bit why I'm worried about with Spy Hard coming up too.
how much
Is it's already a spoof? I don't. How do you?
Right.
It's already trying to be bad on purpose.
how much you could pay me for me to use my veto on this?
I
Or you know, it might
if
pay.
I had a veto left, I would use it, but I don't, so I can't tell you what to do.
to use my veto.
My argument is that
Yeah.
I don't think it would make for a good episode because the whole movie is already trying to do to itself what we would try to do to it. I don't know.
Kurt, what do you
Yeah.
think?
Which is why I moved it.
I'm a horrible person to ask because I love bad movies. It's
Yeah.
why I was so honored to be a part of this podcast, and it's on my list.
Kung Pao is on your
I-
list?
I would watch it because it's so horribly bad.
Yeah,
It's on my list as well.
it's on your list as well. Oh well, look, if we got Kurt, Joe, Brady, and Vandy all had it on their list, then we should probably just do
Right.
it.
And the thing is just like, what's the difference if we talk about like bad decisions that were made or good comedy choices, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Which that movie has both.
Then our final pick then
Yeah.
in 49 is Kung Pao, Enter the Fist, another Steve Odekirk, I think is how you say it, movie. And that wraps up our first ever BMR
Nice.
Bad Movies Rule draft. And so if you've been listening along, you'll have an idea of what our next 50 episodes are going to be. And again, we might go off the board a little bit, but we got 49 movies here, guys.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about almost like 90% of these. So this will be good. I'm hope you enjoyed listening, guys. We haven't decided if this is going to be a regular episode yet or just one as a bonus episode, but hopefully, I mean, if you've listened all the way to the end, you're a committed fan of Bad Movies Rule, and we appreciate that. So thank you for listening. If you've got some feedback for us, here's a question. Should we give the people their own veto once they've heard this? Should they be able to write in
How
and
fun would that be?
squash one of these movies?
But how? I mean,
Yeah.
if we have tens
Chaotic.
of fans, I mean, they could just all vote on all of them, just destroy them all.
Dozens.
No,
So it'd
it's
have to be
cumulative.
Yeah, it'd have to be a poll
Yes.
of sorts.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe out of yeah, exactly.
So
That's a great
if you want to, we'll give the people a veto.
Yeah,
we'll give the
I think
people
we
a
should
voice. I'm all about
do
giving
it.
the people a voice. If you guys write in to thisshowistrash@gmail.com and pick the movie, you're like, don't do this. I'm absolutely vetoing this movie. And whoever, if there's any movies that get more than one vote, and or is the far and away one picked by everybody, we will retroactively veto that movie and pull it from the schedule. So write in, tell us, and even if you don't want to veto something, tell us what you thought. What would your picks have been? What would be the movies you would have drafted? And we'll add them to the list for the future, because half this list was built using your suggestions. We appreciate you guys. On behalf of Brady Cox, Mel Vandy, Clint Bush, Bob Hauser, Kurt Mummer, Joe Goratowski, I'm James Hauser. We love you guys. Thank you for listening.
Later, folks.
I had a bit of a Sophie's choice. I was like, I can't pick American Ninja and Best of the Best. So which movie series, which crummy martial arts movie series are we going to go with? Best of the Best is pretty bad too.
I still hate you for that.
I think more people have heard of American Ninja, because I don't know what the other one is.
That's the Eric Roberts series.
Yeah, nobody knows that one.
Yeah.